2 weeks ago, BoomerangMe launched a video that they're calling Agency and Franchise Plan, a live demo and use cases. So I'm going to watch this because I am very interested in landing a franchise deal. And they're going to show us not only what that franchise plan actually looks like, because you can't have access to it until you land that deal, but also use cases and a whole bunch of other things. But they leave some questions that I'm going to make sure that I address at the end. So be sure to watch till the very end as well. So let's see what Mike has up his sleeve. Now, the franchise plan you don't really need as an agency owner until you land that franchise deal. Then you would reach out to BoomerangMe and add that to your agency plan. So you don't have to worry about making that investment into the franchise plan until you have sealed the deal. You've got this new client. Well, I'm pitching to a franchise company this week, and I'm praying that it goes from franchise owner or store owner to franchise owner next steps. But I want to walk in there knowing how to speak, how to explain the difference properly, so that I can explain the way that the franchise plan will benefit their franchise. They have over 20 locations. So with that, if I were to get this deal, I would be in a similar case as this case study here. So let's watch this one where Mike's going to share with us a little bit of details about this case use. It's just an agency owner just like myself from Dallas, Texas, but they signed a vape shop as a franchise owner and they have 10 locations. So the guys I'm going after have 20. So anyway, my eyes and my ears are open.
And he signed the vape shop, a small franchise chain of just 10 locations, not more, for $299 each locations per month. And it brings him close to $3,000.
Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. So this person is from Dallas, Texas, and he pitched and signed a vape shop that is a franchise with 10 locations. So each of those 10 locations, that franchise then is paying him $299 a month. Now he gets to set that price that he wants to charge the franchise owner himself, and $299 a month. We're talking about franchises here. They have the money to pay that. We're not talking about small mom and pops where I charged between $175 and $200 a month. We're talking about a franchise. Yes, they can pay you $299 each location. It's still an incredible deal for what we're delivering to them. So I would have to agree with that price rank. So each of those 10 locations are paying him $299 a month. Well, the franchise is paying the deal, but that brings him a monthly recurring revenue of $2,990 from landing that one contract for this. So as far as churn rate goes, Mike is indicating that maybe a 0% churn rate. I'd have to pretty much agree with that. If they're going all in with their franchise and they're signing up their customers from all of those locations, they're going in all in. This is not going to be something that disappears from this Abby's contracts. He's going to be getting this long term, because to cancel that on their customers would be astronomical for their business. So this is like job security for this guy. So, and that ends up being about $35,000, $880 a year for him. So I want this deal. Okay, let's keep listening.
In monthly recurring revenue, and this is close to $36,000 in annual income for his agency, again just from one account. And this is the magic, and this is the most important point when you sell into franchise. You're working just with one account. You set up just service once for this account, and if this franchise chains is growing, like their franchise chains of vape shops is growing right now, as I know, you just need to add new locations, onboard new locations, and increase the price per month, and that's it. This is actually you need to do. You do not need to design or understand the new loyalty program rules. You do not need to run pilots. You do not need to onboard new clients. You just need to add new location in your account and charge more. That's actually it. And
okay, let me backtrack because I have him talking a little bit fast. So in this case, as this vape shop expands and opens up new locations, because they've integrated, integrated was the wrong word, because they have a loyalty club card that is applied to all of their locations, to add that 11th location, all that Abby has to do is log into his agency account, go in, you'll see this in a moment, go into that franchise, and they'll add that location for that franchise. So he won't have to redesign a card or do any of the artistic elements to create something that looks really pretty. It's already done because he's set up this account that one time. So to add that 11th franchise location simply is all about just adding that location's details, such as like location, the name, address, stuff like that, website. And that's it. Like all of the other stuff, and sync it to the main card. And then what will happen then is Boomerang Me, and we're going to see this demonstrated in just a moment. Boomerang Me will automatically copy that main card over into that 11th franchise's location, that sub account specific. So he doesn't have to do anything as this grows other than add the new location. Everything else is already done.
This is the good news that franchise chains tend to grow every time, because this business based on the number of locations, and the more locations, the better business, the more revenue, the more profit that generates based on the size. And if we have any questions at this stage, it would be great to talk about. Question from
the question Q&A part right here, I've actually already watched this part. It's hit or miss on whether or not it's helpful. So if you want to see those Q&As for this particular section, I want to recommend that you pop over there. But let me go and fast forward now to the area where he's demonstrating what that looks like as an agency owner that adds a franchise to our account. So let me hit pause and pop over there. Okay, at minute mark 34 minutes and 10 seconds in, he goes into his agency account and actually demonstrates to you how to navigate to the franchise account if you've added one to your account. So you would only be able to do this if that was your situation where you've landed a franchise deal. Then you would be able to see this. So I love that he's actually demonstrating this to us and like showing us and letting us see that kind of behind the scenes element. Because until we seal the deal, until we land a franchise account, there's no way for us to access or see how all of this really works. I really, really love that. I want to also mention that the big section that I skipped over right here in the video is use cases ideas. And he really does a great job and spends a lot of time there. He did a lot of research on different use cases for the loyalty club cards, both from the agency level, but in this case, he was really focusing on that franchise level. So if you want to see that, he does review all of that information. But let's watch this demonstration together.
And as usual, we go into the agency section first. Next one to sub accounts. And as you can see, I have prepared two already created accounts, like first one franchise head, and the second one franchise location. And how we do it manually right now, we do it manually from the development side. If you purchase this plan, we will set up we will help you to set up franchise main account, and we will help you to onboard sub accounts. But
okay, so what he just said there is, if you were to land this deal, Boomerang Me, I'm telling you, these guys are so great. They will celebrate with us if we land this deal. They're going to help us onboard that franchise. So if you are feeling hesitant of, geez, am I biting off more than I can chew? No, they're going to have your back. They're going to help you step through that process together and make sure you don't mess something up and lose this great big deal, because it's a great big deal for us, of course, as agency owners, but it's going to be a great big deal for them as well. So we both have a little bit in the game here. So they want us to succeed so that they can succeed. And they definitely demonstrate that day after day with their agencies. At least I see that. Okay, let's keep going.
With our support without any problems. Like, let's log in into the franchise chain account. And as you can see, I see the franchise dashboard first because I'm on franchise plan. And I'm
going to pause that real fast. So he was in his agency level. He clicked on franchise head, which brought him into a whole different section, which is the franchise level. So it opened up a whole new branch. And what he's about to explain is we have our I'm going to go this way, actually. We have our agency level, which most of us live in, and we normally are used to clicking on our sub account and then opening that sub account to adjust the settings within each, right? But within the franchise level, we would be in our agency account. We would click on something, probably franchise head or whatever we named the franchise. And what that will do, it will open up a brand new world to us, because this looks completely different. So we'll be in the franchise head, and what you'll notice is there are actually 2 or 3 levels within here, because this is the franchise head, meaning it's going to rule all, right? And then they'll be able to go into each location, and then of course the settings within each of those locations. So if this does not look familiar to you and you've been in Boomerang Me and you've messed around with the tools, or you're an active user, that's because we are in we went from our agency level and we went into the franchise level, which you don't have access to until you land this deal and you actually have a franchise to set up. I hope that helps kind of bring you along on this journey.
I can dig down into the sub-account, it means it's a third level in our system. The first level is your agency. The second level, it's a franchise chain head account. This is the third level, it's a franchise chain sub-account level. And this is the first location. You could create another one, like second
I love
franchise
how easy adding a sub
location.
account is as the
For
franchise,
example,
and it's
some
so
phone number
similar to just adding a sub account itself.
at with my email, with some password. As you can see, absolutely similar onboarding flow, like you create additional sub-account under your agency without any problems. As you can see, 2 sub-accounts have created under this brand. And let's create the first loyalty card, which we will share and connect to both locations, to both sub-accounts. Let's use some, Burger House, for example, design template.
And don't get overwhelmed by the fact that he has like a bajillion different cards in there. You wouldn't have a bajillion cards in there. You would be creating this loyalty club card for all of the franchise locations and sub accounts, right? So he has a whole bunch in there because he's in there practicing and playing around and testing and doing all the things that wonderful Mike does. But you would just have the one that you create for the franchise. So just kind of heads up on that one.
Franchise main card. Okay, let's play on reward card. Franchise general card. I will tell you why it's general. Okay, this is the difference between franchise account and simple account on business or grow plan. You could see this feature and these settings at the top of your settings page. Duplicate this card for sub-accounts. It means you can assign this loyalty promotion card to all sub-accounts in your network. Second and first locations, I have selected. Select the barcode type and all other settings you already know without any problems, I'm sure. And I believe in that because I believe you already saw all our videos on YouTube channel. And I prefer to skip them all.
So he's just going to kind of skip through each of these 4 tabs. So you'll notice these are very consistent. They're the same tabs up at the top as you would find in creating one account for one sub account. So when you're setting up a card any other time, it would be the same settings. So what he was mentioning is the only difference is you can now apply this to all those locations and all those sub accounts. So that's really the only difference. So the reason he's not focusing in on explaining each of these steps is because there's so many videos explaining that procedure that the value in this particular video, it's not there. So if you're interested in that information, you'll want to hop over to the other videos.
Mm-hmm. I prefer to skip the design customization step and the card information step. I just want to push the button finish. And what I need to do, I need to activate the card template to share this card template across all the sub-accounts. Get back to the sub-accounts, franchise locations. Let's select the first franchise location and let's sign.
So did you catch that? When he said, I need to activate to share that loyalty club card across all sub accounts. So it's not going to get shared across all sub accounts until you activate it. So if it's still in draft mode and you go looking for it, you're not going to find it. So it would have to be activated and then it will be dispersed to all those sub accounts that you assigned it to.
And into the sub account. On the third level, open the card section here. And as you can see, we have reward card right inside. And this is how it works. Right now, we created the main card template from the franchise head. And these cards have their own QR code for the installation and the unique enrollment link and access to connect up to 10 geofenced locations to this particular card template to show geofenced push messages across 330 feet around this location. But we copied and pasted the same template for this sub-account with unique identifier, with different ID, and with different QR code, with different card enrollment link, but connected to the one database of the customers. And this is the beautiful thing of the franchise plan. This is the magic. In this case, this location need to download the PDF, install this, print this PDF, and set up as a table tent in their location, or design their own design if they want, or design and print the circle printed stickers and place them everywhere in their location to onboard the customers. And we will know exactly from which location we got these particular customers, where this customers has been enrolled in loyalty program, where this customer has made a couple of transactions, and where these particular customers has made a couple of redemptions from this card. And that's the good thing. Next one, if we try to customize the loyalty card, we will see a couple of restrictions and limitations from the platform because, as you know, this is the general promotion, which should work generally and sustainably, similarly everywhere, in every location. It's not possible to offer one promotion and one rewards in one location and other rewards in another location. Like, let's imagine the Starbucks loyalty program. They offer the same promotion for every location. This is the magic for loyalty program across the franchise chain.
That's right. But this also means if every location could have access to and get logged in to create UTMs and things of that nature, they can't mess it up. That's my favorite part.
In this regards, we cannot change the card loyalty mechanic, generally, of course, logically. The next week, we cannot customize the barcode type, reward program rules, the reward tiers, expiration dates, lifetime points. We cannot add locations, languages, and other stuff. But we can add our analytics code because, as I said before, we have a unique card enrollment form, unique URL, and unique QR code. It means we have a unique URL, and we can track this URL if we want. How many visitors we have, how many conversions we have, and what's the conversion rate in general. And moreover, if you want to promote this loyalty card on Meta ads, on Google ads, of course, you could do it. In this regards, it's best place to put your Facebook pixel code and Google Analytics code here to promote it. From the design perspective, also, we cannot change anything because this is the general information. But what we can do, we can add our active links because we have a unique location, right? Maybe we have a unique table reservation link. Definitely it is. We have a unique phone numbers, unique address, and we are able to customize it and put all this information here. Like
That's really well thought out because every location is going to have a different phone number, address, things of that nature. They may even have their own unique Google My Business, account and things of that nature. So depending on how that franchise is actually set up, they will have those unique items in every single location. So that means though, when you're bringing on and that franchise has expanded and they're adding on an additional location, you need to remember to ask those questions, right? And make sure that when you're creating that additional location in that franchise that we ask those questions so that we can update their contact information, their analytics link, their phone number, things of that nature. So every card can be slightly unique based on where the customer signed up.
Email related for this particular location, right? We also have our own feedback links in this location because we collect all the data and we collect reviews on our Google Maps account or our Google My Business accounts or on our Yelp account. And this is the place to put it here, like yelp.com and Yelp. Terms of use is general thing that we use here. And the card issuer information name we also can customize. We cannot customize the company name because it's one brand, but we can customize our email from here and fill in our phone number of this location here.
So that phone number and email address down at the bottom, it shows at the bottom of the information on the, I call it the back of the card, the details of the card. So if the customer were to have problems or questions or whatever, say powered by and probably your agency name, but then underneath it, it will have contact information in case that customer were to have a problem. So typically you want to add the local restaurant owners contact information so that they can contact the location that they most frequently visit.
That's it. Card is ready to be installed and we can do it here right now.
Cool. I was hoping he'd demonstrate this part.
Add to Apple Wallet. If I'm working from the desktop, from the laptop, this PKPass file will be just downloaded on my laptop, and we need to install this card in Apple Wallet, of course, from the desktop first, from the mobile device. I'm sorry, of course. Okay, that's actually it. If we go into the admin account from the franchise sub-account level, if you remember, we need to go back. Sorry, some mistake from my side. Okay, and right now we are here on the franchise level with the main reward card, with first enrolled customer there. And we can send the push notifications, add bonus point balances, segmentate this customer by RFM analysis and other things. All works like usual. Let me please show you the main account right now. 1 second, please. I mean, do we have any questions at the time?
Yeah, right now we have only one, and that is from Andy. For the analytics pixel, where do we put the privacy banner?
For what pixel? I'm sorry.
I do not understand that as well. Rangaraju is saying how many franchises can be added for the 4K plan?
As many as you want. That's a good question, Saravanan. Thank you so much for asking. Absolutely right question. Well, let me please continue the demo. I'm on my agency level, the highest one, the first one, right? If you go into the sub-accounts, the franchise head first, sign into the sub-account. Card. And as you can see, the head of franchise will see all the statistics and all the customers right inside this loyalty card, as well as the RFM analysis, as well as all the things related to this card, all the statistics, and the franchise head is able to send push notifications across all the franchise brands for a free and unlimited instead of paid text messages and emails. And this is generally one of the reasons why franchise chains really love to work with this product, because if you're talking about one single location store, the cost per text messages per month, not very significant. And this is not a disaster for them to pay, a couple of thousands a month. But if you're talking about franchise chains of, 100 locations, if you're talking about millions of customers in their customer base, the text mailing start to be the biggest disaster, and the costly solution for them. People pay really millions of dollars a year for the text messages, and this product will help them to save a lot of money, increase the retention rate up to 2 times without any problems, and increase the average order value by 30%, guaranteed.
Okay, did you catch that? That's a huge selling point when you go to pitch to a franchise owner, how much money in revenue they're going to be saving. So when I'm talking to local mom and pop shops, and they might eventually grow a database of 2,000, right? For the really small ones. Of course, the more busy restaurants will have a database much larger. We're not talking huge numbers when it comes to sending a text message, because a text message costs, and I'm going to round here, about 1 penny a segment, right? So as long as it's nice and short, it can cost them 1 penny each. So, it's not going to be a humongous deal, but it adds up. So it is a mentionable point if you're talking to a mom and pop. But in this case, we're going to be pitching to a franchise. In my case, tomorrow, I'm going to be pitching to a franchise with 20 locations. So for me, the amount of money that we would be talking about here, because their database is going to grow quick and be very, very large, the amount of money I would be saving them is far exceeding even what I'm going to end up charging them. So it's a no-brainer for them. It's definitely going to be a talking point that I stress here.
With this promotion. Okay, I think that's it for this presentation.
I still have questions, Mike. My other questions are, at each location, do they each have their own login for their scanner app? And if so, if a customer signs up at location A, but ends up traveling, can they still use their loyalty club card at location D, right? So does that work? I'm sure that the answer is yes, but I would love to see that works. Or no, at location D, do they have a different login to the scanner for the team, for the staff, as location A, or do they each location have a different login to the scanner app? How does that work? I want to know. I'm sure everybody else on here wants to know too, so I will be sure to tag Mike into this video, and maybe we'll get an answer. We'll see. Cross our fingers.